Hey everyone! So I already started the movie. I was gonna do the Wes Craven one, but it actually said it was unavailable. So I am now starting with the A Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010. I don't know if it's too loud. I don't want to get marked on for copyright. Okay, 14 should be fine. I'm just going to invite some people. Invite people to the live. If anyone's here, please say hi in the comments. I will be looking at the chat. Oh, it says 2 people are here. Hi, welcome. It's probably my dad. I just have one dad, so there's one person who's not my dad here too. So thank you for coming and not being related to me. Or it could be someone related to me too. I have a lot of support from family. Yeah, so I am in the Freddy thing, Freddy cosplay, but also I just want to invite more people here. So I have a picture and I'm posting it and saying live now on our Out of Context Horror YouTube channel. Okay. Just making sure it goes. So I'm actually watching one of the movies right now. One wasn't available, which is interesting. Oh, it's actually not sending. Let me try again. Okay, it's sent. So this is the cosplay. It was so hard to try to take a picture in this for the promotion, and I can't tell you how hard it is to take a picture with a claw, especially a selfie, because it's on the right hand. It was so challenging. So I actually haven't seen this one before. This a new nightmare. Hello, hi Jim. I took a hiatus from watching a lot of horror. I actually took a hiatus from watching any television or movies. And there are a bunch of movies I just haven't seen yet. So I'm so excited now that I am doing this channel to guilt-free watch horror movies. And I sometimes say horror with an accent and it comes out heart. So just if I say heart, it's probably meant to say horror. But a speech pathologist actually helped me practice. Yeah, this is so interesting. I think it would be interesting if they did Freddy in a way that wasn't a villain. Hi. Good day to you too. I don't know. I think it would be interesting if they did Freddy as like deceptive and more strategic rather than just a villain. I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? I think it would be really interesting because I feel with a lot of these like franchise villains, there isn't much strategy to it. And I think if you consider like a lot of things that have come out since, I think that the ability for like some of these writers to really add in strategy and deception to characters is really powerful. Oh, that's awesome. I hope you enjoy surfing. This is just one movie we're going to be doing it for. Hi, Ryan. We're just going to do one movie, so I'm not sure if we'll still be here, but if you come back, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I hope to see you later. I'll wave with the Freddy hand. I love the use of the diner. I feel like sometimes when movies create space in a way that the space becomes a character themselves is something that's powerful. Love the emojis. Yeah, how's everyone doing? The last live was a 7-hour live. I was so tired from that. But it was so much fun. That fifth, if anyone hasn't watched the 7-hour live, I would go back and hit the 5-hour mark. And that is when things really just got so incredible, because we were on for so long that we were kind of like in a, we were fatigued, but we just had like, I personally had espresso, and that's when the whole chat started talking about deja vu, and it was so fun. Basically the 5-hour mark to the deja vu is the best part of that live. It's hard to develop character in horror. Craven is so good at getting you into a character. Yes, it's so true. So I wanted to watch a Wes Craven one, but it said it was unavailable. I don't know if that's just on my account, but this one worked, so I don't think it would be specific to my account. So I'm watching the 2010 one, not the New Nightmare, which I was so interested in seeing. Them talking about like having it be set kind of like on the filming of the movie, I think is hi Paul, is really cool, and it reminds me kind of the Bride of Chucky. I think it was Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, and both of them had the character come to life on the set. Is this freaking anyone out? I thought about doing a video trying to put my makeup on with this. But it was so hard to actually take a picture in it that I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like ever be able to put my makeup on with this. But if anyone thinks that would be a funny video, please let me know. How's everyone doing? I met Wes, an intense guy, passionate. His work shows it. Yes. I'm just turning this down a little bit. Yeah, where'd you meet him? Yeah, I think a lot of like horror franchise movies, they have the villains kind of like kill out of convenience. I don't like the depiction of Freddy in this one. It's probably more realistic for a burn victim, but I'm looking at it. There's just a scene. Some of the characters look a lot older than high school. I'm not sure if it's just looks like that. Doing media work for years, was at an event with McFarlane. Oh, that's fun. Something that's so interesting about these movies is this idea that they're not only fighting Freddy, and that they're fighting like this idea that of people gaslighting them that Freddy is real. So I'm curious. This one, it looks like the characters are older, so I'm not sure if the parents are going to play a role in it. Thanks everyone who's here. Totally fun. What's everyone's favorite horror movies? That is A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. I was gonna do with the Wes Craven one. I don't know. Honestly, I would have to look up if this is Wes Craven too. But the 2010 one is the one that I'm watching. The new Nightmare actually wasn't available for some reason. Oh, it looks like there are younger characters. There's a funeral scene. Been a while since I've seen this one. The first time I saw the original Nightmare was in the 80s when my sister told me I couldn't watch it, but I hid behind a chair to watch it and was terrified. Oh, that's interesting. Have you ever had nightmares from watching it? Seth? Or anyone, I guess, if anyone has had nightmares. Yeah, I'm not really that terrified of this franchise. I feel like it's so fun. Like the way they do it is less terrifying than it is fun. I'm super thirsty, but I don't know if I would be able to open this with this. Party City. Has anyone looked for Party City, any of the deals they have? The original of this, the original Poltergeist, and the Twilight Zone movie. I don't know if I've seen the movie. I was a big fan. I definitely go back and rewatch the original series a lot. Yeah, I saw all those as a child too. I haven't, but I should. It's sad that they are closing down. You look very natural with the glove. Very natural with the glove. Thank you. It's funny. It's a really funny comment. The original Pet Cemetery was also terrifying. I saw some of it. It really looked terrifying. I haven't seen the whole thing. Yeah, Stephen King is so incredible. I'm such a big fan. Someone suggested I do a horror book club. I don't know. I just don't think I would read fast enough to get the books done. Love King, read most of the books. Oh, that's awesome. I've read some of the book It. I'm curious, what did you think about It? Because I really need motivation to go back and finish that book. I have so I do a podcast and there's a lot of books that I have to read because people come on my podcast and I think it's respectful to read their books before they come on. So I have like such a long TBR list, which is the to be read list. And I have so many books that I like have to read that sometimes it's hard to get to the books that that I want to read for fun. Not that I don't want to read people's books, but if I feel like I have to, then I don't think it's necessarily just for fun. Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of people about this idea of like feeling guilt Like, guilt when you go to do something and you're like, oh, maybe I should be doing something else, or is there something more productive I could be doing? No, never nightmares, but get into the mood watching The Thrill, the old horror Psycho, Exorcist, Omen. Ooh. Curious what you like about The Omen. Because I feel like it's so slow paced. I love the book It and enjoyed the newer It movies, though Tim Curry is still my favorite Pennywise. I like that the newer guy made his own thing rather than just trying to rehash Curry. Yeah, so true. I love them both, but the longer It, which like isn't sectioned into parts, it is like a bit slow. Like it takes the whole movie to kind of like tell it takes the whole beginning of the movie to tell the backstory. And I don't know why. I like the remake. I feel like it's really exciting. Like the whole thing is done so well. Have you tried audiobooks? I know there is a debate on audio versus reading. So that's actually an even bigger problem. So I do read a lot of audiobooks and I'm like constantly listening to audiobooks. So that actually, I didn't even factor that into like my reading. So I do have a lot of audiobooks that I listen to, and some of those are for like certain book clubs, or if like a coach of mine says that they think I would benefit from reading a book. So actually at the same time that I'm doing like physical reading of books, I am also listening to audiobooks. The book and the movie are brilliant. I am assuming that's about it. I made my mom record the original It on VCR because there were 4 2-hour specials on TV. Oh, that's so interesting. Same thing with The Stand back then. Oh, that's really interesting. I love that little tidbit. Yeah, I love VHS. A lot of my home videos are on VHS, which it probably is later than what you're talking about. Um, yeah, I still watch VHS sometimes. I have a DVD VHS player here. And when I visit my parents, I usually go to their VHS DVD player and I watch home videos. Plays with your mind, the old ones, less graphic arts had to pull you in psychology. Yeah, I really love that. That's something I love about the movie Halloween, is that it pulls you in. It's so suspenseful and it pulls you in psychologically, and I think that that's something that's really beautiful, and I would love to see more horror movies do that. VHS, same thing. There was also Betamax. If you're old like me, Beta didn't last though. Betamax, what year was that? I am familiar with Blockbuster. I could get used to this claw. Agreed, Jim. Love that psychological stuff. Yeah. It'd be really cool if they did that with Freddy. I'm really identifying with Freddy now that I have this claw. Early 80s. Oh, that's awesome. What a great time. Yeah, the claw is so fun. But it is not functional. Definitely, it is definitely in no way functional. Um, let's see if I could clap. I clap like that. I don't know why I'm clapping. So the second character is now having dreams about Freddy. Yeah, I think it would be great if they like added more suspense into Freddy and like made his character more strategic and deceptive. Because I feel like in the first one, the mystery of who is Freddy and the parents know who he is, but they're not telling, is a bit of a psychological suspense that is interesting. And I feel like they lost that in a lot of the other movies. Speaking of psychological horrors, Get Out, I think that's the name, yes, was really good. Yes, it was. Um, Betamax, 1981, bought my hi-fi, still have it. What's a hi-fi? Yeah, Get Out was really good. Really, really a strong piece. I'm curious, if we do live streams regularly, what are some of the movies you'd want to talk about during it? Like either I'd watch it during, or someone did mention a website where I could watch something and then I could send you the link and we'd watch it at the same time. They should make a Dream Warriors 2, bringing back Robert Englund. Yes. If you look online, everyone's favorite Nightmare on Elm Street is the Dream Warriors, the second one. Yes, 100%. We all agree. Yeah. Hi, Ryan. Yeah, I don't think I actually would love to look this up right now, but it's challenging to do so with my claw on. So, is the actor in this 2010 version Robert Englund? Because it doesn't sound like him. And I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, but I have a feeling it could just be my accent. Um, is anyone looking that up, or should I look it up? Because I'm super curious, because not only does Freddie look different, but he sounds different, and I feel like it takes away some of the essence. Jackie Earl Haley. Interesting. Thank you. Thanks everyone for looking that up for me. Hi-fi audio, dear state of the art. Still incredible sound, like a record, original, pure sound. Interesting. He is a good actor, but big shoes to fill. Yeah, especially since I've seen, like, I don't know when we did the 7-hour live stream, but I watched all of the first 5 back to back. So it's almost like just a little too bizarre to not have it be the same person. From Bad News Bears in the 70s movies. It's always tough to take on a character that is so iconic by another actor. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's so true. And especially if it's not much of a difference in how the character shows up. I did read Robert won't be doing anymore, so I don't know where the franchise goes from here. It's interesting. I think it's interesting that we already discussed that the remake of It was done well. So, like, it can be done well. And not saying that this isn't done well, but I think Freddy is so iconic. Like, Robert Englund is so iconic to Freddy as a character. And something like it has a literary basis that I think gives an actor a lot to work off of. That's still the character without it being connected iconically to one person in history. The original Poltergeist. So I actually wasn't aware that a second one came out. I mean, I know the sequel of Poltergeist. That would be a fun one to watch as a group. Yeah, I have to look up what the app was. I saved it on my phone, but I don't think I'm going to go through my phone with my claw. But there's a platform where I could watch something and send the link to everyone. I've done that before on Amazon Prime, but if I pay for it, you actually can't see it. You have to pay for it yourself. I have seen the original Poltergeist. I really love it. For sure. The 2010 version never... one second. Never got off the ground. Maybe they should try again. What's a hi-fi? It doesn't matter how many hi-fi enthusiasts it takes to change a light bulb. There will always be one who prefers the old one. Pierce his phone with claw. I liked Robert better. More intense for the character, my opinion. Jackie put his own spin on it, but he didn't want to copy. Yeah, I think it has to be challenging to take on something that is already so iconic. Freddy was a vile and disgusting human being that became a dreadful dream demon. Yes. I think William Dafoe would be a good casting if he would take the role. That's interesting. I think it would be really interesting to see, like, Freddy done in a way that hasn't been done before. Like, making his character more strategic and deceptive is, like, what I really, would think would be really powerful. I could see Dafoe. That would be interesting for sure. Yeah, I think we all agree. Richard Brake or Kevin Bacon as Freddy. Ooh, that's interesting. So in this one, it looks like a kill scene that's similar, I think, to the first one. The first one, where they're all in the house together and she's killed in front of her, I think, boyfriend, and they think it's the boyfriend who's the killer. I don't know. I like kind of like an ode in remakes to the original. I think what you were saying is a good idea. A different interpretation of Freddy, more strategic. Yeah, I would think even like the idea of playing at, like, maybe he says he was innocent of the original crimes and like making it about the parents. And this goes super deep, but making it about the parents, like having this conspiracy that the parents like almost like targeted him, and like I don't know like exactly like where that would take it, but I love the idea of like the parents as like not being like of being confrontational, because in every single one of the original, like it's like the parents never believe them, the parents gaslight them, the parents lie to them. I just would love the idea of like Freddy turning like actually like taking this like subtext and actually turning into a plot point. Freddy battles Jason, Myers, Chucky, Candyman, and the Tall Man in the Terror Dome video game. Yeah, you know, we talked about this on one of the lives about Freddy versus Jason, how it seemed so action packed that it almost like wasn't a horror movie, and it was more of like an action movie. I think it was. I think that they should the way it was written, it could have ended early on. I think it was too much. Like it was just battle after battle, and it wasn't doing anything for developing either character. So it was just more of an action. Enjoy the chat. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Frost with Jeff Goldblum is a good horror movie. I wish I could actually, maybe I could screenshot this right now. Bear with me. I'm sorry if I do anything that messes up this whole thing. I saved that. I'm gonna look at that screenshot later. I'm a big fan of Jeff Goldblum, so I would love to watch that. Ace of Base rules. What is the context of that? I'd love to hear that. Like Freddy killing the teens to get back at the parents that persecuted him. Or maybe taking different elements from the original 5 movies and possibly having like Freddy try to convince the teens that the parents like persecuted him and that he was innocent, and have this like tension between the parents and the teens. Like it would be completely like a completely different story, but also the idea of him actually just being deceptive and that it's not true and that he was guilty, I think is really interesting. The idea of him targeting the parents would be a cool idea for sure. Something different. Yeah, I'm curious. So, do you think that there's ever any way that Freddy could like not be like an evil villain and that he's like innocent of his crimes? Or do you think that him being a killer in his own respect is part of what makes him iconic? Or would you like to see like a whole different retelling of it? Because I'm really curious, because I've had thoughts about this in my own head. Shadow Builder with Tony Todd and Michael Roker is a great horror film. Okay, let me save some of these 1 second. Now that I see I could do it, I'm saving them. Killer Party from 1986 has a sinister ending. I could see that. Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors 2, Dream Again, LOL Wish. Yeah, I love that. I love that one. Love Philip's death in Dream Warriors. Was that with the I don't remember which character Philip was, but was that with the hands? I remember everyone was like, "Oh, you like I can't wait for you to see like the needles as the hands." I'm not sure what you said no to, Ryan. Like an averaging entity that could be like an avenging entities. My computer is actually far away to like get me in frame, so I don't know if I could zoom in on these chats or if that would be too overwhelming. Like an avenging entity, that could be very cool. Yeah, Freddy should stalk everyone. Everyone needs to be fair game. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Phillips was a human puppet death. Oh yeah, Freddy should explore the dream world. I think these are all cool ideas. Yeah, I like would love to see it like rewritten in a way that completely changes the context of every other movie. Because I think when you remake something and the character is iconic, you have to either like remake it in a way that like it adds suspenseful context to the rest of the story, which makes people go back and watch it, or you can't like just you can't just have it be mediocre in my opinion. Um I've lost track where we are in the chat. I could see him not being the original killer, but the frame would turn him bad. It could work. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like that. I had a dream. I had a dream about him saying that he wasn't like that the movies didn't like tell his true story. So that's why I think about it like personally as like it's something I think about in my own head. Most twisted ending to a film. I'd have to go with The Mist probably. Ooh. The dream void for Freddy to have dream prisoners should be seen. Interesting. Can you say more on that? The dream void for Freddy to have dream prisoners should be interesting. Do you mean like people he kills as like him taking their souls and them being dream prisoners? Kind of like in It um when he can take on their form after and they're kind of like he says kind of like that their souls are there. I think there is a Freddy one and it's like an image of Freddy like this and all of the souls are like coming out. I think it's the one with Jesse and the girlfriend like cuts them out or something. Most twisted endings, martyrs, Malum and Tales from the Hood. I'll look these up later. Because also it's hard to read from this far away. I'm sorry. It's not blurry, so I don't think I need glasses. It's just tiny. It's just tiny writing. Tiny writing. Freddy keeping kids sleeping and torturing them in the dream realm. That's interesting. You mean like once they die or after they die? Oh wait, that means the same thing. I meant I'm a little tired. But yeah, watching this it reminds me why I shouldn't fall asleep yet. Do you mean that he keeps them there after they die? Dream hostages to lure the rest of their family members. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, that kind of reminds me of It. How they go really to find his brother. And that becomes a motivation. But also the idea of dream hostages rather than them being killed, I feel like can play at like this idea of Freddy not being completely evil and possibly just being out for revenge for being murdered himself. Yeah, I found that interesting. So twisted ending, Eden Lake. Interesting. I haven't seen it. Yeah, I think like a retelling of Freddy with like I don't know, maybe like not having the murders be convenient would be really interesting. Southbound and the Mortuary Collection. Sorry if I'm saying this wrong. Honestly, it's hard to read. Are good horror anthologies. I'm just going to save that. What does everyone think of the channel so far? I was considering possibly having people like submit real life ghost stories, and some writers that I'm connected with sending in like short horror stories that we would animate. Yeah, thank you. I've written many Wattpad ghost stories. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to have more, like feature more voices on the channel. That would be incredible. And have more collaborations. I've been enjoying the channel and always look forward to video drops. I think people submitting stories could be real cool. Yeah, I agree. Right now, we do have ideas for the next 2 drops. So we're working on creating those. But yeah, I think it's time to try to start connecting with people who write horror themselves and have real life ghost stories. But the thing is, I get so many messages about people wanting to tell me their real life ghost stories or wanting to collaborate. And it pains me to say this, but I am so unorganized and I do not know how to keep track of all the stories or how to follow up with people. I'm thinking of like possibly doing a Google Doc, but it like pains me at like I can't find some of the stories people have sent me because there's too many messages and I don't remember like the keywords to look up to try and find these stories. But yeah, it sometimes I'm just like, don't tell me, like just wait until I have a way to like put all of these in. But that doesn't always work. So I have like tons of ghost stories that I don't have organized anywhere. Yeah, I think there's something untapped about like the parents' role in the Freddy movies. I bet that could be difficult when you get many submissions. I mean, if it's all organized in one place, like I don't have any doubt that I'd be able to manage it. But when it's all over the place, like it's hard because you know you could submit something, you could have like a formal way for people to submit, and then people who have like shared their stories might not see it and they might not submit, and it's that's definitely a stressor in my mind is getting all the people who told me their stories to submit something for the channel. So this actually bends. I think this might be for someone who's taller because, or actually, I think I just have small hands. But yeah, you can bend these, but my hands are so tiny they don't really bend them well. My friend Ellen said she would be here. So Ellen, if you're watching, I just want to say hi. Superstition is a malicious horror movie. Ooh. Superstition. I want to look that up right now, but I don't really have extra set of fingers. I'm just going to save that. I'll look it up later. I'm going to have so many screenshots to look things up. So now there's a bathtub scene. I feel like that's kind of like the typical Freddy bathtub scene. I'm curious how they do this one. Keeps us busy. What keeps us busy? I wasn't sure what keeps us busy. One second, I'm just screenshotting. Looking things up. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to look up any of these and put it in the chat, they are for sure tried to recreate too much of the original movie with the remake. I am looking at that right now and I'm thinking like it's almost like word for word what it is. I don't know. I think something about remakes that go deeper makes the original even more profound. And I feel like sometimes when you don't go somewhere new with the same story, I don't want to like say it in a harsh way that say it's irrelevant, but I just feel like remakes should really make the originals more profound. They are for sure tried to recreate. Oh, I saw that. Never mind. You can see there's some tears. There's some other tears that probably shouldn't be in places where they're teared, but Nancy's mother could have been killed by Freddy taking over Glenn's body and have him stab her to death. I might have to read that again. Nancy's mother could have been killed by Freddy. Nancy's mother was killed by Freddy, right? Taking over Glenn's body and have him stab her to death. Glenn's body. Stab Nancy to death? Hello, Katie. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment on the gear. So Freddy does possess a human vessel in Jesse. And I feel like it takes away some. So I said this in the live stream. I don't know if you saw the live stream, but it's 7 hours, so obviously it's a lot to take in. But the idea of Freddy possessing a human, I feel like somehow makes him weaker. Like I think as an iconic killer, he almost seems weaker because he like takes on a human vessel. And I think there has to be something like untouched and just like supernatural about a killer, and also the idea that like a killer, and I think Chucky does as well, that a killer doesn't want to be anything other than themselves. And I think there's a power in that, and that idea that like Chucky could have possessed a human, but he said no, like who I am is like exactly who I want to be. And it actually, like, I think in that is there's something powerful. Freddy wants his vessel to be damaged and killed. Interesting what you're saying. I think I need more of an explanation there, because I think when he possessed Jesse, he didn't want to be damaged or killed. I have a question. When it comes to horror villains, do you think that them having like a human that survives them being just as strong as them, do you think that adds or detracts from their strength? Like the idea of like Laurie Strode like surviving in Halloween. I think the final nightmare where they went back to his past was good. At least he remembered that. That hat. This hat? This hat? Freddy using Glenn to torment Nancy. Can you remind me who Glenn is? Nancy has to fight and harm her boyfriend. Oh, was that Johnny Depp's character who, while Freddy enjoys that Nancy is hurting Glenn? Okay. That's interesting. I don't know. I think was a priest. Who was a priest? Sorry, I actually zoned out, and I just looked at myself, and I was like, "Why am I making that face?" I apologize for anyone who had to witness that. So weird. Spelled it wrong. I'm not sure what you spelled wrong. I am not quite sure what everyone is talking about. Thanks for enjoying my zone out. I'm sure we all do it sometimes. What did Freddy had coming? What did Freddy have coming? I'm not sure exactly what that was in reference to. I thought death had me by. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, Darth. Did anyone answer at all about the idea if part of making an iconic horror villain is having them have like an iconic nemesis that survives them? Who did you meet? And the example I gave was Laurie Strode. Even Nancy in the first one. Yeah, I really am curious because I personally think that adds to it. I think a lot of the times when we think of villains, we think that the more a villain kills or the more heinous their killings are, the more power they have. But I think having someone survive them is something that makes them iconic. Let me try and read this. I like the iconic nemesis. Oh wait, I skipped a few. Love Alice from part 4. I like the iconic nemesis, but having them survive by wit or guile rather than power is great. Nancy was an innocent soul. Alice turns into a warrior. I think it can help, but I think it can help to have an iconic hero to battle. The horror villain is the star, but like you said, it adds. Don't fear the Reaper. Yeah, I mean, is there like an iconic horror villain that doesn't have someone survive? Good song for the Phantasm films. Are you talking about Don't Fear the Reaper? I think that was in Halloween too. Halloween also, not Halloween 2. Survived at all costs. The tall man has Mike and Reggie that survive. Yeah. Jason. I'm trying to think who else. Someone has to survive to continue the legend of the Freddy, Jason, Michael, etc. So Jason, I haven't been quite a fan of a lot of Jason's stuff. Um, I'm curious. Does he have? But also, he's not the villain in the first one. Well, Jason actually isn't even isn't in the first one, is he? Sorry, I stopped reading the chat because I was just thinking. Um, Jason had Tommy Jarvis. Michael has Loomis. Well, Michael has Lori. But that's interesting because Loomis, if you like look at Loomis, he's kind of like a sage role. Um, it's been 30 plus years since I saw the first one, so not sure. No, in the second one. Yeah. He is at the end scene in the lake. His mom does most of the killing for the first. That's true. Freddy needs a Loomis character. I feel so this I don't know if this is getting too deep, but do you feel like Dream Warriors is so good because Nancy becomes the Loomis character and Nancy is like the guide to the group of like who Freddy is and like why you should fear him, but also why you have to fight back? Because I think something a lot of horror movies is like they don't always follow the hero's journey, which I think there's a lot of power in it. And I think like having the villain be the anti-hero's journey is really powerful. And like having there actually be like a sage character, and a sage is like a someone who is like wise that guides the hero character. Yeah, she survived and learned how to fight and tried to help others. Yeah. Ooh, that is a good comparison. She does become the mentor in that one. Yes. Yeah, let's split up. The cop that takes Freddy as a baby from the 100 maniacs that knows the evil truth about Freddy. Um, but he's not in the first one, is he? Is the one with the nun as his mother? Um, part 3. Yeah, I don't know. I think something I love about the Dream Warrior one, which I feel like if they did another Freddy one, it would be really cool. Is this idea of like an ensemble cast and all of them finally believing each other and coming together, and I feel like that was like when it was at its best, and like kind of like a whole entire generation of people fighting Freddy. Jason versus Freddy. Yes, Seth. I'll assume he's talking about you too. Dr. Gordon in Dream Warriors, wasn't he I don't remember when he like started to believe them. So I don't know. The cop could be Gordon's partner. I'm laughing at that comment. Um, the cop could be Gordon's partner. You know, like I feel almost like I am high reading this because it's so much strain on my eyes. um but I'm like so into this these ideas. It's like really I'm so glad I have this channel to talk about this stuff. um I'm just gonna check and see. The cop always get the I don't know what you mean, Darth. The supernatural nun, Amanda Kruger, could aid Gordon and the cop. Jason versus Freddy felt more like a what if rather than a canon movie. It was fun for what it was. Yeah, it was just so much of an action. And so I don't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time. I think I watched it when it originally came out. I might actually have it too. But I don't remember there being like a hero. And I don't mean like someone they came up against. I feel like it was just the two of them. I prefer Bride of Chucky. I love all the Chucky movies. It's one of my favorites. I would love like a Chucky doll, like a Good Guys doll. Stay Tuned is a great demonic horror comedy. Yeah, that's when I was younger. I haven't seen Stay Tuned. The Freddy one-liners, like when he shoved the girl in the TV, welcome to prime time, biatch. Great line. Added a lot to that character. Yeah, all of his one-liners. Do you think Andy counts as Chucky's nemesis? 100% because he comes back in all the other ones and he's such a strong character. Or should we wait to talk about that when you eventually do the Chucky live stream? No, 100%. I would not wait. I'll talk about Chucky at any time. Psycho Gorman and Deer Camp 86 are fun horror movies. I'll have to save that. Oh, yikes. I didn't save it. Norris and Andy's mother should return to face Chucky. Doesn't Andy's mother die? Is Norris the cop? I actually just watched this and I can't remember. Did anyone like the TV series, the Chucky TV series? I actually really loved that. And I felt like it really added to the character. I think there's something about horror villains that they have to be like likable, but also that you like can't stand them at the same time. I do agree. Andy does come back. The TV show continues to add a lot of lore. I did it. I did. It was a great show. Yes, agreed. I'm sure they aren't that sharp, but I saw you kind of run the blade through your hair, and I thought, no. Yeah, they're actually not that sharp. But I had a nightmare, and Freddy Krueger clipped me on accident, though. So, I'm sure they aren't. Oh, I read that. I added Norris to my Wattpad Chucky story. Is Norris the cop? I have to ask again. Norris is the cop. I watched Chucky and I was like, I recognize that actor, but I couldn't figure out what I knew them from. In a dream, yeah, Freddy clipped me by accident. Which is, and in that dream, he was saying about how like the movies don't like do him justice, and I found that really interesting. So that's why I brought up the idea of a different way to look at Freddy. He's a demon. Is he a demon? Is it possible that he's a demon if he was human? But are we going too in depth to demon lore? Because normally demons have never been human. Chris Sarandon was in Fright Night, The Centennial, and The Resurrected. Is that Norris? That's interesting. I don't know if I have seen those other movies. So this is probably so embarrassing to admit, but I'm just going to be honest. I feel like a lot of the times there's an actor that has done so many iconic things. I'll remember them from like, honestly, like a role they took that was like so silly, but that I've seen like a million times. And it's really embarrassing because I feel like a lot of people who are into movies are kind of like, oh, some movies are better than others. And like, you have to have good taste. And like, I just feel like I just love a lot of things that like just matter to me, even if they're not like a classic. And yeah, I feel like maybe that's something that's a little unconventional to my approach. Princess Bride, I just watched it. That's what it was from. I did see Tales from the Crypt too. I have the DVD set. Thank you. Thank you for having my back. Freddy 3, Dream Warriors. Is that Dream Warriors? That is Dream Warriors. I love that one. I think that's everyone's favorite. I'm curious though, because a lot of the times when people say that, I don't have the opportunity. Why was that your favorite? Because I have my own theories of why that is the best one, but I want to hear someone give an explanation. Oh, that's awesome. Where'd you meet Mandy? Yeah, Tales from the Crypt. Great. I love that idea. You know, we should do it. We should do like a themed on the channel, a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing. That'd be so fun. I love that. Or like, you know, in Princess Bride, where the movie where he tells his grandson the story, like the idea of like there being someone who keeps these stories. I would love that in like a fiction drop. I love that quote. I should have said that as my favorite quote today. You met him on Broadway after his Yiddish musical performance. Oh, that's so fun. The card game. I'm not sure what you mean by the card game, but who guards the Guardians? I'm curious if you have an explanation for why Dream Warriors is your favorite. Oh, is this it? Best characters. And Nancy came back with her pops. Also, it was kick ass to see the characters have powers. Yeah, I love that. That would be fun. A fiction drop, a Tales from the Crypt theme thing. Yeah, what about each story? There's like an intro to it, and like someone like, human video, and then like the fiction would be the animation like we did in the first drop. Which, by the way, I'll just make an announcement. We're doing human voiceovers, and we're going to do the first drop, and we're going to do a human voiceover for drop 2, and we're working on ideas for the third drop, which would be fiction, and maybe we'll add in for the third drop this idea of like a Tales from the Crypt, that there's some sort of like universe inside of these stories that they come from, and that would be super fun. I would really love that. But I'm not going to announce what the third drop theme will be yet, because we didn't get through the second one yet. That would be fun. A fiction drop, a Tale from the Crypt theme thing. Yeah, that'd be really super fun. I would love that. If anyone has any ideas on that, please put them in the chat, because I am so excited about that. I'd love to hear more. Oh, the human voiceovers. I am so excited. We've been meeting about them and we're practicing them. One of my best friends, MJ, is actually going to be the director. So she has been working on like stage notes and stuff for us. I am going to do, I think, 2 or 3 of the voiceovers. And then we have the incredible Namdi, who's going to be doing some voiceovers. And one of our best friends, Carrie's, is doing another one of the voiceovers. I've lost track of where we are. Glad I got The Night of the Demons Part 1 and 2. Been trained in Cobra Kai. Angela is a great horror villain. Angela, is that from Candyman? Am I guessing? Am I just guessing? Taking a big leap there. Angela, that's going to be so cool. You get to do some. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm so excited. So excited. Let me just check and see how much more of this film we have. I have been so into the chat that I haven't noticed. There's like, there's more of the movie. There's a lantern, so I don't know if you've seen how many times I put a lantern into scenes. Angela from Night of the Demons. Ooh. Boo. I have to go. Oh no, but these are always fun. Thank you. I hope everyone had a good time. Thank you. I have lived. Mary Lou is also a great female horror villain from Prom Night 2 and 3. There's so many horror movies that I still have to watch, and I'm so excited about. Bye. See you. I just want to say thank you so much, everyone who's here. Again, I am just having the time of my life. Like, this is so fun. I love talking horror with you. I'm curious, what did everyone think of the cosplay? Do we want to see more things incorporated to like the drops, like with cosplay? Do we want to see it for promotional purposes of like different things? Do we want to see it on the live streams? I'm just super curious what everyone thinks of the incorporation of cosplay. The Puppet Master films need a strong female lead as the main protagonist. Yeah. My feet fell asleep. Let me just move them around. Scanner Cop 1 has a great horror villain. Jeepers Creepers versus Predator. Well, let's just say he won't be talking anymore. I'm not sure what that means exactly. Midnight Movie has a terrific supernatural villain. I love all these movies you're bringing up. What's everyone's favorite horror remake? I know everyone's favorite sequel has to be Dream Warriors. But, you know, a lot of the Scream sequels are really good, like in their own right. So what's everyone's favorite sequel and favorite remake of a horror movie? Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon with Robert Englund is amazing. Ooh, you know, I think that's one of the ones that I suggested. I think I might watch that. I just had my my morning coffee at like maybe 5 p.m. It's 7 p.m. where I am now. So I think I probably won't be ready for bed for a while. So maybe I'll watch a movie. Favorite sequel 28 weeks later. Ooh. I think I only saw the first one, and the how isolated it was, like the characters, like how isolated they were, was actually an added element of fear. The Walking Dead, the TV show, or is that also a movie that I'm not aware of? Great sequel, Maniac Cop 2. Interesting. Speaking of horror, they have a new Final Destination movie coming out. I know, I saw an ad for it, but the ad didn't play enough of it. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but I am such a fan of ads, and I will like watch ads on YouTube. Someone was like, "You should get YouTube Premium," and I was like, "I love watching ads." Um, I just absolutely love. I think ads are are so fun, and also like so much of our data is out there that ads become targeted, and that you're actually looking at things you'd want to get anyway. Um, so yeah, I think ads are a gift. But anyway, I do wish that Final Destination, the trailer for it was longer, and I might have to look it up. Magnificent sequel, Phantasm 2. Yeah, people have mentioned Phantasm tonight. Any Final Destination fans out there? Um, yeah, actually, what is his? I forgot his name, but it's the same actor who is in the Chucky TV show that was the original character in Final Destination. Um, and actually, I am a big fan of that actor, but it is late tonight. Yeah, Devin. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Idle Hands. That was such a good one. Actually, I'm such a fan of him. I watched it because he was in it. He's in Devil's Den. Has a remake coming out as well. Which one is coming out as well? Idle Hands has a remake coming out as well. Yeah, that's really interesting. I found that movie to be like deeper than the movie it was itself. Like the idea was deeper than the movie. Starry Eyes. He was in Starry Eyes. I don't know if I've seen that one. I'm watching movie. I don't know. I think sometimes with remakes you want something that's different that makes the originals seem more profound. Hearted Eyes. I'm a little confused with everything that's happening in the chat. Heart Eyes. Oh, okay. Did that come out recently? Someone asked me if I was watching that this weekend, and I hadn't heard of it. Oh, it came out this week. Oh, that's awesome. Did you watch it? Loved Thanksgiving. Now waiting for Thanksgiving 2 second servings. I prefer Valentine. I'm distracted because now it's a more dramatic scene in the movie. It seems like they're in this remake. There's a lot of elements to the first one, but I feel like there's not much build up to how iconic it is. My Demon Lover is a great Valentine's horror comedy. I haven't heard of it. Did anyone watch this Freddy movie with the A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010? I'm curious if anyone is like a big fan of it. Let me just look. Yeah, I'm distracted by this scene. Is there anyone who's a fan of the Scream movies? I might do a video reacting to some of the Scream news that has came out recently. So she just took Freddy out of the nightmare into the real world. And they're fighting him. I think it'd be really interesting if there was a storyline that Freddy was innocent and that he was framed. Thank you, everyone who has joined. It's been such a joy. I really love this. I feel so lucky to be able to share this space with all of you and to be creating in ways that are so exciting to me and to have people be a part of it and to feel like this channel is not just for me, but it's for all of us. And it's something that we share and it's something that we are creating together collectively. And a big part of this is I want to make sure that I am listening to all the suggestions that everyone gives me, whether it's through DMs or on comments or anything on posts and things like that. It's so important to me that this is something that not just I'm creating, but that we're creating together. And I am so grateful for everyone who's here, for everyone who joined throughout the whole session. It really means so much to me. So now there's a fire and the characters seem to have gotten away. But if this is typical Freddy fashion, they'll be in a dream at the end. So we'll see how that works out. I think something they probably could have done better is introduced the characters that survive earlier and have them be easier to connect with earlier in the story. Yeah, I really loved all the different places that we went tonight on this live stream. It's been so fun. I'm really having a joy. I'm going to have to take my hand off the claw. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the amazing chats. It's really great. It's been incredible. And that's it. That's all of it. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. I'm going to be doing the live stream. Thanks again.